to see how it looks?
Well, yes, that can happen, especially when it's very busy.
Well, have you, so the act of wandering off looking for a mirror wearing the jacket is itself not proof of intent to steal?
No, but it does raise a suspicion.
Well, now you have told this court that you observed my client looking in the pants department after leaving the jacket department. Is it not true that some customers like to make all of their clothing selections before paying for any one item? So, for example, you would pick up multiple items and then pay for it all at once instead of going up and paying for something 4, 5, 6 individual times.
Well, yes, that could happen, but your client didn't pick up any other items. He walked out of the men's clothing department wearing the jacket. He wore it for about 20 minutes. Then he took an escalator up to the 3rd floor. I've never seen a paying customer do something like that before.
Well, I suggest to you that a young man shopping for clothes might easily decide to wait until the end of looking at all the items he might wish to buy before paying for any one item. You would have to admit, this is a possibility.
Well, yes, maybe, but your client didn't pick up any other items. He just wore the jacket and he never once tried to pay for it.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Very well. Thank you for giving evidence, Mr. Sangria. You may return to your duties at the bay. Thank you very much. Swear the Bible or affirm?
On the Bible, Your Honor.
Take that Bible in your right hand. Do you swear the evidence you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your full name for the court.
John Frederick Hammond.
You may be seated.
Mr. Hammond, you are employed as a security guard at the Hudson's Bay department store downtown. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And on the evening of August 10th of 2016, was there a problem in the coat department which you were asked to attend to?
Yes, indeed there was. We received a call from one of the clerks saying that a young man had walked away from their department while that young man was wearing one of the jackets that was on display there.
So what did you do upon receiving this call?
Well, I proceeded to the area where I was informed that this young man would be located.
And did you see the young man provided by the description provided by the clerk?
I did, yes. I saw a young man who matched the description. He was coming out of a change room carrying a couple pairs of pants.
And do you see that man in the courtroom here today?
Oh, yes, I certainly do. He's that young man in the blue shirt right over there sitting next to the lawyer.
Identifying the accused once again, for the record, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Hammond, what did you do then?
Well, like I said, he was coming out of the change room with a couple pairs of pants, so the first thing I did was I went into the change room just to see if he may have cut the tags off the jacket and tried to throw them away there. And then I followed around a little bit more in the pants department. He was there for about 5 minutes or so looking at pants, and then he went over to the shirt department.
What happened there?
Well, he looked at a variety of shirts. In the shirt department, I'd say he was there for a little...
If this abuse, was that the reason that you cuffed him?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, and also because we suspected he had a knife.
And was there, in fact, a knife in his pocket?
Yes, when we searched him, we did find a small jackknife in his back pocket.
All right. Thank you very much, John.
For 5 minutes and 10 minutes in the shirt department, and then he wandered around the store looking at other various items. Would you not agree with me that if a person was intending to steal something expensive, they would leave the store as quickly as possible to avoid being caught?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I mean, some people, they hang around picking up a large number of items.
But my client wasn't doing that, was he?
Well, no, he wasn't doing that.
Well, then I repeat, do not most people who intend to steal one expensive article of clothing leave as quickly as possible to avoid being caught?
A lot of them do, yes, but just because someone's hanging around doesn't mean that they still don't intend to, still don't plan to take that item, whatever item they have in their possession. It doesn't mean that they don't still plan on leaving that. You see, there's no one kind of shoplifter. There's no one.
Did you find a mirror?
Yeah, I did, but not in the coat area. The two there were being used. So I wandered over to the pants department, and yeah, I found one there.
So you found a mirror in the pants department. You took a look at yourself in the mirror, and what did you think?
Well, I thought the jacket looked really good, so I decided to buy it. I needed pants, and since I was already in the pants department, I decided to try a few pairs on to see what they looked like with the jacket.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. Did you find any pants that you liked?
No, I didn't like any of the ones they had. saw, and I didn't bother checking out any other jackets.
So you're asking this court to believe that you would put on a jacket a leather jacket worth $450 without looking at any of the other jackets on the rack? I suggest to you, Mr. Lowe, that you put on that jacket because it was the only one that was not fastened to its hanger. Is that not correct?
No way! I've already explained to you that I was going to pay for it. And if I had a mirror that I could use there, I would have...
Did that happen?
Yeah, I did that.
Why would you do that?
Well, I thought the jacket looked kind of stupid with the tags hanging from the sleeves, and I wanted to see how it would look like after I bought it.
I suggest to you, Mr. Lowe, that you rip the price tag off the jacket to avoid being detected as a shoplifter when you left the store wearing that jacket. Is that not correct?
No, it isn't. Like, that's not true. Why would I do that? There's no convincing you. What more can I say? Nothing's gonna change your mind. You're just like the guard.
All right, Mr. Lowe. Now, you have stated, and I quote here, that you left the bathroom and crossed over the skywalk to the parking garage. You took the elevator down to the street exit.
Say that if this happened in real life, the accused would have an important question. Does the evidence presented by the Crown Since our jury has found you guilty, I will now pass sentence. Because you were 17 at the time of this offense, you have been tried under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, which governs all Canadian youth aged 12 to 17. And this act calls upon judges to try to avoid prison for non-violent youth offenders, particularly first-time offenders. Now, this actually is your second offense for this crime of shoplifting. However, I do not feel that it warrants a prison sentence. The Act calls for young people to face meaningful consequences, but consequences that will hopefully help them in future to become better people and more law-abiding citizens. So I'm going to place you on probation. When you're on probation, you have to follow certain rules. You're in society, but you must follow certain rules and meet certain conditions. And if you break those rules or conditions, you could be charged with breach of probation, and you could receive a jail term for that, or the probation could end, and the judge could send this man to a youth detention center. So it's very important that you follow these rules. First condition, you must report to a youth worker once every 2 weeks. 2, you must attend at least 6 counseling sessions with a counselor selected by you by the youth worker. The counselor will help you to try and overcome your attitudes of anger and disrespect for other people and the law. 3, you must perform 60 hours of community service during that year of probation. Now, when you break the law, I think we can all understand you harm society. By performing community service, you have an opportunity to do something that helps society. This community service could involve volunteering for an environmental group, community center, senior center. Your youth worker will help you develop that plan. 4, you are ordered by this court to write an essay that will be published online on the impact of shoplifting on businesses and consumers. Again, I stress that it's very important that you obey these conditions. The court will take further action if it's brought to our attention that you are breaking these conditions. You now have a criminal record, Mr. Lowe. That also is a punishment. Could affect your ability to travel, particularly to the United States, and to obtain certain types of jobs. I should stress, however, that it is a youth criminal record, and it can be sealed after a period of 3 years. In the meantime, however, you must live with the consequences of that criminal record. You made some bad choices, Mr. Lowe. We are all responsible for